Domestic violence, what are the penalties? Domestic violence has some of the harshest penalties out there. Want to own a gun? You're going to have a problem. On probation for domestic violence, you're not owning that gun. So there's different ways a domestic violence can be charged. It can be charged as a felony, for example, if strangulation is alleged, or if you have a prior domestic violence, a subsequent conviction can be charged as a felony. So if it's a felony, you're looking at prison time. If it's a misdemeanor, you're looking at jail time. Now, it's possible to get the case resolved by probation. Then they're going to make you do counseling. They have what's called the Batterers Intervention Program, BIP, BIP. That is a condition that the statute requires that you go through if you're placed on probation or convicted and put on probation for domestic violence. The other big problem with domestic violence is if you're on probation is you're not going to have any contact with the alleged victim. And what that means is from the date of your arrest until the case is resolved, and even after the case, if you're convicted, you're not allowed to be around the victim. And if you got kids together, that's going to cause a problem with your custody issues. So the problem with domestic violence is there's all those penalties, and then on top of it, you got your boss and says, you got arrested for domestic violence? I don't want any wife beaters on my payroll. You're fired. And if you don't think that happens, what happens to every athlete? They get cut the next day. So much for being presumed innocent, right? You're losing your job, your reputation in the community is at stake. Then, on top of it, as if that wasn't enough, it goes in your background search. And now you're a violent person. That's why you can't own a gun. And so you go to McDonald's or you go to rent an apartment, they say, whoa, 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 we ran a background check on you. We're not going to hire you. We're not going to rent you an apartment. Why? Because you're a violent person, and if you hurt someone on the premises, we're liable for it. So we're not going to rent it to you and take that risk. So domestic violence carries potentially prison, jail, probation, and the risk to your job, your reputation, and your ability to get a job. So you need to fight that charge because all of those consequences are there. Separate from that, the person might go get an injunction against you. And then you have a civil injunction, restraining order telling you you cannot be around the person. Guess what happens if you violate that condition and you go around the person? You get arrested. Send them a text. They text you and you answer it back and they go, how you doing? And you go, terrible, because I'm on probation because you lied about me. And you go to jail for that. But they texted me. No. So all these consequences come with domestic violence. They're very serious crimes. They're politically and culturally problematic. So you need to fight it and call and talk to a lawyer so you understand all the problems and what can be done so you don't end up in that situation.